Welcome to the free session of CodersTrust. I'm Tariq Mahmoud with you for this session. I hope you are doing great at your end. Before starting my main session, I just want to ensure that you are watching my screen properly and listening my voice without any problem. You can comment here if you are logged in with your Gmail account. You can log in. You can your Gmail account. Just comment here in the comment section if you have any problem to see my screen or hear my voice. And one thing you have to remember that it is important because most of the newcomers actually got mistaken doing not setting properly here. So before starting my session, just want to ensure that everyone is settings this properly. So just go to the settings icon and select the quality option and select 360 or 480p or 720 if your internet is high speed, but at least try to select 360p so that you can see my screen properly, because other than if you are selecting like 144 or 240, in that case actually you will see my screen blur, so that it actually in low resolution. So to avoid this problem, just select it 360 or 480. And also I will check your comment on regular interval, because I will not check this instantly if when I start the coding, so I will not get any notification if your comment, if you make any comment here. But don't worry, I will just check the comment section regularly, so that actually if you face any problem, I'll try to fix it then. Okay, so today's topic is about jQuery, which is a actually important part for the front end to make the visualization more properly, make some animation like using the slider. So the behavior actually depends on the jQuery. So it makes your web page more fancy and more lively. So it's important to know about the jQuery. So basic concept about the functions. What is actually jQuery? Okay, before starting the functions, I just want to let you know that what is jQuery. jQuery is actually a library of the JS, that means JavaScript. This is a library. For example, we have the library for the CSS like Bootstrap, and jQuery is also a same a library. That means there are a lot of functionality is done with this one. So this is called a jQuery, and there is a function which actually used in the JavaScript and the same as actually jQuery. So what we will do now? So this is okay. So the function. Well, before starting, you have to remember this. This is the jQuery main library, jQuery.min.js. It is a mandatory to include in the script because it is the main jQuery library. So without this library file, actually the jQuery will not work. And I will include a ready state, which is actually called the document dot ready. That means all the jQuery code will work in the ready state when our document is ready, and we can write our jQuery code within this area. That means this is called the ready state of the jQuery. And we can include our other codes like the functions, like events and other things. Well, now introduce about the functions, which is actually functions. Well, functions is actually reducing to repeated code. If you want to make something that we want to reuse many times in our program, so for this purpose, the function is used. For example, we have a function that just add two number. and give the result. So we can make a function called like add numbers, and we'll send some parameter like two numbers, and it will return us a value of the summation of these two numbers. So we can use this function, but if you want to do it without any functions, we have to do this plus minus many times in this program. Okay, so let's introduce it. For example, we have a function like at just I am going to show something here, and within this hold something, I just passing a variable like the message ms, and within this function just I want to make it like this one, a lot messaging. Okay, well, and if you want to call this function, so like so something hello, and to run this one, let me check. Okay, well, let me debug it. There's a problem. Oh, there is some missing function like line 7. Oh, this is not this variable. I'm using this dollar sign. So let me do something in the code because I need some parameter here. This is mistake. I just mistake in the spelling. Okay, this is a hello. So what happened now? Just I made a function which is called the show message or something like show something, and passed a variable msg, and this is the variable passing the value, and this value is just a lot. So we call the function show something, and we call this function many times in the program, like, and there were like new word, so we can run it hello, and the second time it is called the new word. That means this function calls for two times in the program, so we can call the many times. So you can see we can actually reduce the code for giving the alert for many times. Just we are calling the functions and it and doing this the rest of the operation here. So this is the simple, and this is the function declaration, what have to be done here. And this is the function calling. That means we want to use this function. If you don't want use, just we will not call here, and but you can place the code here. Now I will do something more complex with the function. For example, I just want to show the two numbers, add something. So add something, and we can take the variable a and b, and within the a and b, I will take another variable c. We can show it in the a plus b, and the allot c, and I will also call this one, and I want to pass to value like 4 and 5. Okay, so let's see. So the value is 9 because I just want to show the summation of two variables, that means a and b, and for the a and b we have passed two value like 4 and 5. So the 4 and 5 now here, see in the c their summation is state, and just to avoid this, so we want to make other function like subtraction and many things, and we will do a simple calculator later on the our session, that how to make a calculator using the function. So this is the basic concept of the functions. That means this is the declaration, how actually what will the function do, and this is the call. That means we want to use the function, and we are also sending some parameter. That means that we want to get output as the input. For example, this is the input 4 and 5, and we are getting the output of the summation of two value here. So this is about the function. Now I'll introduce about the events. Before that, I just want to check your comment if you have any problem. Okay, no comment so far. So today everything going fine. Now I'll go for the event. So before that, I just want to do something here in the HTML, like want to take a button, and for the button I'm just giving a class like s, and we want to like the show. So within the function I'm just calling this show, and in the event I just want to call this function. So there is an event like s. This is a selector, that means you are selecting this element s, and dot click, that is a click event, and within the click event there will be another function which is actually called the inline function. Okay, so in this click event we'll do something. So we'll just call a function here like add something. We'll add something, we'll send some value like 1, 6 and 8. Okay, now show. So you can then, when our clicking the show, it is showing the 14. That means the result 6 and 8 is 14. So when we are clicking the S, that means this show button, it is calling the function and this function and sending some parameter like 6 and 8, and it is showing the summation of these two value here. Now you can see is the 14. Well, this is the event, and there is another event like change. So we can make something with the change event. For example, we have a select box plus country, and there is some option like and the value images ed.png. Well, I'll explain to you where I'm using this value, but I'm just showing something in the option. So like country Bangladesh, Brazil, Argentina, Canada. those two, and for those I have some value. Okay, now I just want to do something when the value is changed. That means when the select box is changed, we want to do something. So this is the select box. You can see four countries here. So when we select another thing like from the drop down, that means when the value is changed, we want to do something. So this is called the change event. So this is the class country. So when this is selected, so we'll call another event called country change. On change, we'll do something like this is a not function, this function. Okay, and when the country is changed and we'll do something, what we'll do, we'll show some images of the country. So by default, we can show an image like the images for the BD, the flag of Bangladesh, and we can give a class like flag, country flag. Okay. And when we will change the select, then the flag will be changed. So what we will do, we'll take a variable. The variable will give some image path like image URL, and we will take the value of the selection. That means this country. So this country dot will take the value of like val. Okay, and now we are not taking the value. That means if it is selected the Brazil, the value will be the BR. Actually, BR the name of the flag. You can see the thumbnail Brazil, and for Argentina it is the ARG. I have already an images folder, and in the images folder I have those flag also. So relative flag is now in the value. So when you are just changing the value, for example, now we are changing the Argentina, so the value will be this one, and we are getting this value using this selector country.val, that means this value, and we are keeping this value in a variable called image URL. Now I will take the value and set it to the country flag. So just country flag dot attribute. What attribute will change? This is the src source, and by what value? That so the first one is the attribute, and the second one is the value. So we value of the attribute of this one, that is the country flag. Okay, let's check now. Now you can see there is a flag of Bangladesh by default. So when we are changing this Brazil, it is changing here. When it is changing the Argentina, this is changing. So when we are changing the flag that is in the select box, the flag is already changing. So if I debug this code here, so you can see this. Now this is the images bd.png. Now I'm selecting the Brazil. You can see it is changed to the Brazil. That means you're setting this value like this with the code segment here. So this is the change event, and we'll do something some stuff like changing the flag. So this is the click event, this is the change event. There is another event called the hover. That means this is the simple when we'll mouse the hover on something, and this event will work. Okay, let me check. You will comment again if you have any problem. And whoever joined later of the session, don't worry, you can see the whole session of the recorded version later when I will finish the session, so you can see a missing part of, later. Okay, no comment. Well, now I will also introduce about the event. Now I will do something with the uh, which is called the calculator. So for the calculator, I'll just do something. I'm removing those code because we have already understood what is the event. Now I will take the input box, input type text, and give it class like a, and also taking a span class is actually a sign. I'll just give the class and I take another input box and just copying this one and we'll change it to the V. It's also text. And finally, there will be another thing and the result. So we can take n as is res for result, and this is now blank. And now it will be the sound thing like the calculator. So it's like plus, and the class is p. Uh, let's see how actually it is shown here now. Okay, you can see there are two input books for A and B, and the class. Now there is no result, but I want to show the class in the different line. So I'm just putting it right here. We can just to show in the next line. Okay, and for class, so now I will do a function for adding these two numbers. So when the P will be clicked, so P, and we will just add number, and I will take the value. I'm not it alert actually. I will do something like this. I want to put the result in the here. That means the res. So I can write it using this jQuery also. Res dot html. See, that means now the res will be filled with the value. That means in the middle of the stack, the result will be placed by this line of the code. That means the res.html. Okay, so now I will do something with the plus. When p is clicked, the event of the p, just I will call this one add something. Okay, before that I want to take the value from this one and this one. That means from a and from b. So I'll take the variable a. For a, it will take the value from the a input box. So well, for b, it will be just b, like this one. Okay, and now I will send the value to this function. That means add something. So a and b. Okay, so let's check now. So I just give me some value and b. Yeah, it is showing the something, but you can see this is not the summation. It's just showing 5 8. That means it is actually a string concatenation. So it is adding by side as a character, not the number, because in the jQuery or JavaScript and take the value as string from the input box. So we have to make it number. So to make it number, we'll do something here in the parse int. There is a function in the parsing JavaScript jQuery. You can use parse int. That means this function actually is converting the character to the number. Now it is not normal character or string. It is now in the number. And let's click now again. So I just put some value like 79, and now it's showing the correct result. So this is the plus sign. So it is actually doing the plus operation. So you can make another operation like add something, subtract, subtract A from B. So you can make it like minus, and you can call another button like minus, and also giving the class M. You have to make another event for the M, that is the minus. So this is now the M, but this will take the same value from the A and B, but it will not do add, it will do subtraction. So we call this function, that means for subtraction. Okay. So I just represent this is the minus 2 because 7 minus 2. So if we give the value like 4, now it is the 3. So if we want to make it a plus, so it is 11, 7, 4, and we can do, so we can do actually same thing in the with the different button, so different function, and we can also use another function which is for multiple, exactly the same way. This is called multiply, and just I will change the sign, and also I will take another button multiply. So you can now see it's very simple. When we have already a function, just we are copying and changing the operation and using the proper function for the proper button. So for multiple, I can give it ml, and also I can copy this event. So for ml, I am just creating another event ml, and it will call the multiply function. Okay, and simple for 5. So it's 20 minus minus 1 plus 9. So everything is going fine here. And the last one is the divide. Right. Finish the D. And we can also make a relative function for the divide. So you can say actually it is the simple mathematical operation, but we are doing with the jQuery. The main concept is actually how are we using the function, right? Okay. And we also make another event for the divide. So this is the B, and also this is the divide. And finally, I will call it D here. Okay, you can see now the result is here now. So we are doing everything plus minus multiply everything. So it is just like a calculator. So we have just make for function for the for operation and also for event. But one thing you can say, we want to change this sign also, because when doing divide or multiplying, actually the sign is should not be plus. So we also can change it here. So this is just simple. For example, we want to change for the multiple. So what we will do? There is a class for the sign, and we want to change the HTML to the sign minus for the subtract. Okay. For minus, you can see now the value is changing. So we have to do is for other operation also. So for the plus, it will be to the plus, multiply, it's one, it will be right. Okay, now let's check for the final. For minus, it is changing here. For multiply, it also changing. Divide changing, plus changing. So now it's a perfect calculator with the minimal operation. So that's it for today's session. If you have any questions regarding today's session, you can ask. If you have any problem to understand anything here, though it's simple, but for the beginners, it may a little bit hard to understand. But I just try to make it as simple as possible. You can see actually I make a simple function, just do some arithmetic operation, and changing the value of the result and also the value of the sign. Just three operation. This operation actually is changing here for every function, and in the function I'm just calling those in the related table. For the plus I'm calling this p, and p is when the p is clicked, it is taking the value from the input a and input b and sending those value to the function called add something. And for the n, that is minus, are taking this value also and just sending to the function subtract, and so on for the other also. Okay, if you have any question, you can ask here. I'll try to clarify if you have any problem. Meanwhile, I just want to show something about the CodersTrust, what basically CodersTrust is doing. CodersTrust basically a Denmark-based company which is working for IT skill development to make the learning as strong as possible, so that after completing the course you can start the earning also. Most of the cases, it is shown that after completing the courses, the students actually didn't get how to proceed to the marketplaces, how to earn, and they feel some guidelines, and they need actually proper guideline. So Coder Trust is here to guide you properly and how to use actually your skill that you have gained from the courses, and how you actually utilize those skills. And the course outline is very practically oriented for the Coder Trust. You can see there are front-end developing for 4 months. Also, there are back-end with 7 months. That means that is full stack development. And there is also in the Android development. And there is some soft skill, that means the negotiation and the presentation to the client, or how to deal with the client, write the good proposal to win the bid. So everything actually you'll get from the Coder Trust. So Coder Trust not only focus on the learning, also for the earning, and to make your career more sophisticated and well guided by the Coder Trust. So if you are very passionate to grow your skill and work in the marketplace, so Coder Trust will be a good choice. And you can also check the success stories of the students who have already started earning in the marketplaces after completing the courses. And there are a lot of students already working in the marketplace who actually completed the courses from the Coder Trust. And for other information like in the payment issue and the course flexibility, you can just chat with the Cooler Trust team. And also you can try the free trial 7 days. That is, if you want to know actually how the Cooler Trust system will work, there are many options, like you can do class on campus. Also, you can do class from the home. So there are a lot of options that might help you to learn more flexibly. Okay, so I hope you check the site thoroughly, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask by chat or email, or you can also check the Facebook page of the Coder Trust if you want to know more. Okay, I'll complete the session, and whoever joined later, just I want to repeat that. You can see the whole session in the same URL, the recorded version. When I complete the session, you'll see the whole session recorded, so you can play it from the beginning. Okay, so take care. I hope we'll see you again in the next session of Code Trust in the week. And till then, goodbye, good night.